This is show number 131, Punishment. Welcome everyone. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. I don't usually do shows in the morning, but this is information that must be given to all of you. Let's talk about this. When does bad become good? And when does good become bad? Think about that. It's quite profound. For example, when interacting with a person who did something bad to you, after you did something good for them. So you do something good for them, and then they do something bad to you. What's that all about? I think if a person does something bad, and the person knows they did something bad intentionally, should be given bad karma, right? Well, I also think, depending on the severity of the wrongdoing, should be disciplined for their action by the spiritual world. So if a person does something quite evil, quite bad, and involves thousands and thousands of people, that's when the spiritual world will discipline that individual. That's when the spiritual punishes that individual. If you do a minor infraction, you get bad karma. If you do something good, you get good karma. Now I ask you, if a person does bad to you, stand corrected. If somebody does, you do good for someone, and then they want more money, and they push you and request more work and more money, and you don't have work for them, and then they do bad things to you because you didn't have any more work for them. And then this man where I live, he turned on me. At a gathering of all the residents in the building, he said something bad about me. And the people now laugh at me and mock me. I don't understand that. I did something good for him. I just didn't have enough. I didn't have enough money to continue to do the work and have him work for me. And he went bad. And now he's trying to be my friend. What do you do in this situation? You know what I do? Let them engulf themselves with guilt. That man almost went to jail. No, that man went into hospital, became very ill, almost died. He almost died. Is that his punishment? I didn't wish anything bad on this man because I knew the spiritual would punish him. And so they did. He was very sick in the hospital for several weeks. He came home and he's trying to be friendly with me and be friends. That doesn't work, people. You can't do wrong and expect them to forgive you and make you friends again. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. It's not me having a grudge. It's that I don't want any more problems with him. I'm keeping my distance from him. My sister did something bad at a funeral. She did bad things to me. She turned all my cousins and aunts and uncles away from me. Made them laugh at me and mock me. And he did that to other people at other times, and that got spread around to the rest of the family, and they laughed and mocked me. I had to leave. It was so bad. She destroyed my family members, my cousins and aunts and uncles, and they don't want to have any interaction with me anymore. And she thinks it's okay. And she then sent me a birthday card thinking everything's fine, that what she did to me was okay. Well, I got labeled my sister with, she is a person who has gone dark. And she doesn't even know it. The price she paid for doing that to me, I did not wish anything bad on her, because I knew the spiritual world would find a way to educate and teach her ways of being, especially with dark actions, to be done to her as punishment. and she doesn't even know it. She had a stroke, and 6 months later, from when she did bad to me, she had a stroke, and it was severe, but she came out of it really good, and now she can't, gotta leave. She can't drive, and she can't do anything. She's limited to what she could do. She said she wanted to go back to get her PhD so that she'd be superior to me. And she thought it was funny. She has to outdo me. Well, she didn't outdo me this time. She was penalized with a stroke for what she did to me. So what this says is that be aware that maybe you don't punish them. You don't say anything bad to them if they do really bad to you. Let the spiritual world discipline them and punish them. So we're going to let the spirit guides punish these people who do bad things to you. It's also known, as I mentioned, bad karma. And punishment can be through medical events. If a person does really bad, if you get good behavior, you receive good things. And that's how we're going to be shown how to become a better person for yourself and a better person amongst all others. Let's talk about a dictator. The dictator started a war, an unnecessary war. And there's senseless killing and severe mistreatment toward the people of this country, who are a very civilized country, or like all other civilized countries, a very civilized country. I wonder what spiritual leader or what spiritual guide will stop the war and eliminate the dictator of this once civilized country named Russia and Ukraine. They're both civilized countries. They're just like America. They have homes, they have restaurants, they have businesses. They work. They eat. They provide for their family, just like us here in the United States, amongst all other civilized countries. Why did Vladimir Putin, a dictator, start a war with Ukraine? Why? I'm going to make a little comment here right now, off the record. Did our former President Donald Trump, have anything to do with this war between Ukraine and Russia? The former president was good friends with the dictatorship of the Russian people, their leader, Vladimir Putin. What role did our former president play? What did he do? I think former President Trump can do a lot of bad things to us and many other people in our world. Just a thought, people. Just a thought. How much involvement did he have with Russia's leader, Vladimir Putin? Now, what spiritual leader is going to end that war? Because I want to make clear that minor infractions upon each other, we discipline each other. We talk to each other, we work it out. We work it out. Or you just stay away from that person, if you're okay with that. You can have the police come, make sure no one hurts each other, and you can express each other then and rectify the problem right then and there. But for severe, bad events, we will leave that up to the spiritual world, the spiritual guides and God and Jesus and his followers and his guardian angels. We're not guardian angels, but we call them spirit guides. The guardian angels are going to keep doing good for us. They'll do good things for us. That's their job. But the spirit guides manipulate and work through things not by one-on-one, but by one of many. It's like a web, intermingled, and things happen. So the spirit guides would do the severe punishment for severe bad events that take place. So, I wonder who that spiritual person is to punish such bad people such as Vladimir Putin. And all you people, what I want you to say, when you pray, tell Vladimir Putin and the spirit guides to send him home to heaven. We will cleanse his soul so he'll never ever do any bad ever again. That is God's ways. That's the ways of the Spirit. Tell him to go to heaven. There's no more hell. We all go to heaven. And again I repeat, don't allow such a bad individual such as Vladimir Putin. Send them to heaven. Remember, there was an incident with a female police officer who was in the wrong apartment and shot her neighbor and killed him. And that man's son, upon her day of sentencing, he hugged her and forgave her because he knew she was a good person and she was a police officer. That's why she had a gun. She was sent to 10 years in prison for a simple mistake like that, an accident. 10 years in prison. Well, needless to say, but I will say it anyway, the judge cried and apologized to her a lot for sending her to prison for 10 years. The judge was crying. We will not have anything happen like that between two good people. We won't force a judge who will embed it into their memory, sending that police officer to prison for 10 years. In that situation, that would be done by the spirit guides. The actions that need to be taken will be done by the spirit guides and higher spiritual entities. No more will we have to do bad upon bad, good upon good, we will do. But this is so that we don't have to persecute each other. The spirit guides will do the punishment for us, so we could continue to grow and develop into beautiful human beings and not have to have that on our conscience, that a person put that police officer into prison for 10 years. Now, I ask you again, when does bad become good? If ever? In my world, I still have faith. The spiritual world will transfer a person from bad to become good. And here's the really good. When does good become bad? But if bad from the good is done accordingly, it will still stay as a good action, a good punishment to keep people from doing bad to one another. People, I am so proud of all of you. You are fantastic people. You are doing good things for each other. The rich, give to the organizations that help the poor and the people who are below poverty. Also, to the rich people and the government, provide good things. Provide assistance to the middle class. Will those people pay their taxes as they should, but receive help? So maybe they too can have a nest egg to go out on a vacation. What's wrong with that? Too many of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So let's, rich people, if you want to keep our government as capitalism, then give back to our people. Give back. You know one example I'd like to share? Maybe a rich person can start a fitness center, like Planet Fitness, and make the membership $10, $20 a year. And then you're helping people stay fit and afford to go to a fitness center, to meet other people, to get healthier. That's all good. And then as a rich person, you pay the difference and you provide a service that's fantastic for all people of middle age, poverty, and below poverty, so they could still feel good, just like the rest of us. I love you all very much. I love you all very much. Do good. Be good. Stay good. God bless you all.